Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the first two homework problems from homework section 11.8 on expected value. All right, now what we have here is a table shows claims and their probabilities for an insurance company. Use the table to answer parts A through C. Calculate the expected value. Now, the expected value is each outcome times its probability, and then you would add them all up. So you would have the expected value equals 0 times 0.65 plus 50,000 times 0.22 plus, and so on, 100,000 times 0.06, and you keep on going. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and stop writing here and use our calculator. So what we'll have is, on the calculator, we'll have 0 times 0.65 plus 50,000 times 0.22 plus 100,000 times 0.06 plus 150,000 times 0.05 plus 200,000 times, oops, I did a plus, times 0.01 plus 250,000 times 0.01, and we get an expected value of 29,000. Now, this is kind of tedious to put in the equation all in one shot, so an alternative way to using the calculator is you can use your stat function. So the stat key is 2 over from the green alpha. It hits stat, and it'll automatically be on edit. You want to go ahead and edit, so you can, so you're in edit, so just hit enter. And you have if you have values in L1, you can use your left and up your arrow keys, highlight L1, hit clear, and then hit enter. And then L2, if we have values in there, hit clear, and then hit enter. And now we have a clear screen. What we're going to do is we're going to put the values, the claims in L1, the money values in L1. So you put the first value is 0 and you hit enter. And then you'll put in 50,000 and hit enter. And then you can put in 100,000, the next value. And again, you can see these, you hit enter and they automatically go up, and they get stored in L1. And you can see all the values, so it makes it a lot better. So if you make a mistake, you can just type over it, and you don't have to start at the beginning. Like here, I think I have too many zeros, so I'm going to go ahead and delete 1 0, and then hit enter for 200,000. And the last value is 250,000. Okay, and then use your right arrow key, go, and I'll move over to L2 and put the corresponding probabilities. 0.65 for a 0, 0.22 for 50,000, 0.06 for 100,000, 0.05 for 150,000, 0.01 for 200,000, 0.01 for 250,000. Now you can go to stat, go over to 1, calculations. So you know, you already finished editing, so go over to calculations, hit enter, and calculations, and you're always going to do one variable stat, so simply hit enter. If you have a newer calculator, it's going to say list put in L1, which is second number 1. L1 is in blue, so you hit your second key, number 1, and then you go, and then for me, the older calculator, you put in the comma, which is above the 7, and then L2, which is where my probabilities are stored. Your second line says frequencies, put in L2, and then go to the third line with calculate, and I'll blink, and then hit enter. And the first number, X bar, is your 29,000, is your expected value. And that's what we got when we did it the long way. Okay? Now, okay, so there it is. There's an alternative way using the stat key in the list to get your expected value. How much should the company charge as an average premium so that it breaks even on its claim costs? Well, if the average claim is 29,000, then to break even, we're going to go ahead and charge the same amount. So it'll be, again, 29,000. Oh, okay, sorry, putting it in the wrong place. And then how much should the insurance company charge to make a profit of $50 per policy? So we'll add on an extra $50. And then, of course, it'll be $29,050. And that will be our, so that they can make an extra $50. Okay? All right, so problem number 2 is very similar to problem number 1. Let's go ahead and do it with the stat key again. So just to do practice, hit stat, and then you got edit. Okay, now remember, we've got different values. So we're going to highlight L1, hit clear, and hit enter. And then we're going to highlight L2, hit clear, and hit enter. And now we're going to go back to L1 and put in our values, which are 0, 20,000, 40,000, 60,000 is the next value, 80,000, and 100,000. Okay, so there's our values. And then we use the right arrow key to highlight L2, put in the probabilities, 0.7040, 0.19, the probability for 20,000, 0.06 for 40,000, 0.03 for 60,000, 0.01 for 80,000, and 0.01 for 100,000. Now we've got all our values in, so we go back to the stat key, and now we go use the right arrow to go over to calculations. We have one variable. We're always going to pick one variable, and if you have a newer TI-84, in your first line you're going to hit second number 1 for L1, and then you're going to go down the second line, hit second number 2 for L2. I'm going to put in a comma above the 7 key, then I'm going to hit L2, and then I'm going to hit enter. You're going to go down to calculate, hit enter, and then you should get a printout, and X bar is the expected value. So it is 9,800. And that is indeed correct. So how much should the company charge as an average premium so it breaks even? Again, charge the same amount that it expects to pay out, which would be 9,800. And finally, how much should they charge to make a $50 profit? Make a profit of $50 per policy? Well, we know we can easily. We have 9,800 is their average claim, is their average expected payout. So we'll have to add $50 to that, and that will give us $9,850. Okay, very good. That ends this session of this YouTube video explaining homework exercises 11, expected value, section 11.8, problems 1 and 2. Thank you. If you have any questions, please send me an email.